Oh, let me bring the mic closer.
There are the notifications. We are up. We're live.
We already got people in the chat. Jimmy J talking about Brogdon. Luis backing him up. Brogdon was phenomenal against the Hornets the other night. Big game from him. Big game.
It was a big spot. Derek White goes down.
He needed it.
And really great to see that Derek White is going to be back today. I didn't see the injury when it happened. It was
scary.
And I saw the replay on Twitter. It did look scary.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy, very pleased that he doesn't have to miss time. Because when I saw that, I thought he was going to have to miss like a little bit of time.
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. I mean, he got his head clocked by Smart running down the sideline there. It was scary. But like you said, it's good that he's back today against the Hornets again, which is weird. But nice to see he's not too injured. Brogdon stepping up in the place of him and Jaylen Brown, obviously 30 points against Derek White to be running around with a neck brace.
That actually would be fire. Because like it's not like you don't see guys play with braces on other things, like a knee brace. Imagine he just has a diesel neck brace on. Like he looks like a slip and fall like victim in court. Yeah.
Would be fire. Excuse me, would be fire. Jack and saying Malcolm game changer Brogdon. I agree. Ben checking in from London, early start. That's nice for you guys out there. Legend. We got 2 comments. Luis congratulating me about the Cornette game. Landon talking about it as well. Luis, I wrote a whole article about Luke Cornette. A whole old 2K words for you as Tim joins us. Hello, Tim. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out. I wrote it just for you with you in mind.
Oh God!
And everything. Hello. I think your mic settings are one off. Tim, just heads up. But yeah, you're good. As soon as the Cornette game happened, it'd been a string of them, so I wanted to write, and I came into the pregame show today, Luis, thinking of you and knew I was going to tell you to go read it. I'm being fair, Jack. I'll check it out. I appreciate you.
I'm going to do something else.
Well, at least he was going to say, he'll check it out and stuff, right?
Hello.
Jacking, it's good.
Vitamin C shout out from Landon in the chat.
Hey.
Cornette. I thought Cornette was really good. I mean, against the Hornets, he's been super good for the Celtics lately, and I think this season he's been great. He's just been playing his role really well. His defensive numbers are actually pretty impressive. I looked into them for the article. I mean, the Celtics defend the rim. Opponents shoot 5% worse when Cornette's on the court at the rim. I know it's obviously small sample size, but like just the way he's played this season in his role on offense and defense, he's not doing anything crazy. He's not going to make Sports Center, but he is, doing the job the Celtics need him to do, which is all you can really ask for him. So I've been very happy with him, and I hope he gets another chance to show it today. I mean, he should, but we shall see. But
he's been real consistent and efficient at the rim. You can rely on him to put the ball in the basket when you give it to him. It's similar to how you are with Rob, except Luke Cornette can't like touch the top of the backboard, which is a little bit disheartening, right? Not really. You nailed it on the head, Jack. He really is pretty much perfect for the role he has. Yeah. I still don't understand the clamoring for bringing in a replacement for him because he's really been fine. Now, Naz Reid is a name that has been thrown around. He's a name that has been rumored not just for the Celtics, but for other teams, especially with the reports coming out that the Timberwolves do not want to extend him. Ooh. So I guess if the price is right, maybe you think about it, but I don't know how much I believe in screwing up the team chemistry with Cornette coming off the bench, where he's learned to be an effective player in this system, and the team has learned to play well with him on the floor.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like I get the concept of wanting to try and get some depth there. Because honestly, like if something happens to Al or Rob, all of a sudden your center depth goes right out the window. So I think just even having someone who can play some stretch 5, that's why like Naz Reid makes a lot of sense to me, because you can play him at the 4 and 5. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. No, but I think like if you go out and you get someone like that who just gives you a little bit more flexibility, I think that's all you really need. Like, you hit it on the head there, Jack, talking about how Cornette's been serviceable. Like, he's a high floor guy. Like, you know what you're going to get with him. It's just if you're trying to just get a little bit more flexibility at those spots and just a little bit think about it like a safety kind of thing. You know,
Yeah.
you need to break glass in case of emergency. That's sort of what you got with Blake Griffin. But I think you can upgrade on that further. If there's an opportunity to get someone who's a little bit younger, who you can retain in the offseason, someone that, you know, extends your window, increases your chances even the slightest. If the cost is low, then you have to consider it. And a guy like Naz Reid makes like a lot of sense. It's just a matter of, do the Celtics want to do it? Are they willing to take that? Mainly just take that like tax hit, right? That's the big thing right now, is whether or not they will weigh the pros and cons and decide to take that bullet.
Yeah, I think Naz Reid would absolutely, be an upgrade over Cornette. Like you said, he's younger. He played well against the Celtics. He can shoot a little bit more consistently, probably than Luke Cornette can at this point. But at the same time, you have to consider the price of Naz Reid. If I'm the Timberwolves, I'm asking for a first-round pick, not only because the Celtics can give it to them, but because other teams around the league would probably give that to them. And at the same time, you're probably looking at a rental if you're the Celtics, unless they want to extend him and why don't I see the Pete's Basket Chuggers in chat? Oh, because
You guys are on different platforms.
they already have to
We see them.
Yeah, exactly. They're over on Facebook, Luis, and you guys are on YouTube, so probably different chats. But they'd have to extend Naz Reid and Grant Williams. You already saw the hesitance to extend Grant Williams, which we've complained about enough. So asking them to not only trade a first-round pick to bring Naz Reid in, but also extend him past the season, I just don't know how realistic that is. So I don't know. It would definitely be an upgrade, but with the way Luke Cornette is playing and the long-term difference, I suppose, of Naz Reid in Boston, I just don't know if it would be worth the price. And it's interesting, though. I mean, there's definitely options out there. Like I've said time and time again, I'd rather them look for a wing to help alleviate some of the pressure off of Tatum and Brown. And because Hauser's not exactly playing the best, as Jonathan pointed out, do you think he has any value? I don't know. Like, I don't think the Celtics should be looking to trade Hauser right now.
No to both counts, actually. I don't think you should trade him, and no, I don't think he has a lot of value. If you're asking yourselves why, look, if you're looking to trade away someone right now, unless it's like Pritchard, like it just doesn't make sense unless you're just doing it to clear up roster spots for a buyout. And I don't think you do that with Hauser. You know, they signed him to an extension. I think he's just slumping hardcore. I think if anything, you find ways to try and either alleviate the pressure or just try and get the most competitive motor out of him. Like get someone else who's going to steal his minutes. I think that's what they tried to do with Justin Jackson the other night. Like they threw Jackson in there. Like we all know, like, I don't know. I assume that you guys know how I feel about Justin Jackson, but like they threw him
Jackson
in there.
Not very good.
No, that says a lot about how they feel about Hauser right now. I don't know if that's kind of like a wake-up call or what, but
I think Landon nails it on the head. He said Hauser shouldn't go anywhere because he's on the cheap contract. He's under contract for the next 2 seasons after this one for like nothing.
Yeah.
So if he is able to shoot like he did early in the season, you're not going to have any issues with that guy taking up a space on your roster for that money. Doesn't affect your cap, and he gives you a very valuable skill off the bench. Now, when he's playing like this, you just kind of don't play him if you have more resources like Gallinari being healthy, but he's really your only option. What are you going to do? He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. That's exactly what it is. He's the 14th man, fringe man on an NBA roster. That he's not going to be anything more than fine. If you're expecting more from the 14th man on an NBA roster, then your expectations are probably a little bit too high for that spot anywhere. Dave asking, is Derek White okay? Derek White is okay. He is starting today against the Hornets. Had a scary injury against the Hornets last time out, but it looks like all is well in Derek White land, in Celtics land, in that regard, at least. Joe trusting him to break out of the slump. I think you kind of have to. I mean, he was so hot early in the year, and it's not like he's too much of a negative on defense. Like he holds his own pretty well. He's a solid rebounder. And you know, from what we've seen, it's kind of like they let him go out there. They let him, shoot a couple threes. If he makes them, then he'll stay in the game. But if not, they'll pull him. And like you saw the other day, they put in Jackson instead of him. And Pritchard's been getting more time too in that kind of shooting role. So I don't know. It's kind of give and take in that regard. And if he finds his shooting stroke again, then I think the Celtics will be in a good place. But I guess
if there's any day to play him, it's today.
Yeah,
you've got Charlotte, who you screwed around with for half the game or like a quarter and a half of the game, but then you turned the Jets on and blew them out. which was great to see because I was like half watching the game because I was out. But when they were down early, it was just like, really, this is what we're doing again. You're going to play against a bad team again and play poorly. And looks like they figured it out. So I'm hoping today, despite it being a matinee game, they continue to have their foot on the gas. Now, I'm not expecting too great of things from the Celtics today, just because traditionally they aren't great in these early games. They usually kind of crap out, which is, I guess, understandable when your routine's screwed up a bit, but nonetheless, not what you want to see as a fan.
I think it might help though that they're already like in Charlotte, it's not like they're
Very
going
true.
anywhere else. That honestly helps them out a lot because then you don't have to worry about travel. I know like one thing, like when they really were really bad during matinees, part of it was they talked about like COVID testing because they would literally have to like be ready to get there to do protocol testing like way before the game and everything like that. So I don't want to make excuses for them because ultimately you have to show up to play, but I'm hoping that we don't have to deal with that. Oh, I have to speak up. Am I not being loud enough? I might have turned my gain down.
No, I mean, I think you sound good.
Okay.
I haven't
All right.
seen a problem, but I don't know what Luis is Tim too quiet? Let us know on your end. I mean, he sounds fine.
I can also just tilt it. I'm trying a new setup. I don't know if you noticed, but my picture is very different. I got a new new webcam. Yeah, it's a lot wider.
Nice.
Thank you.
I
Yeah,
like
it was
it,
on
yeah.
sale. Check it out. Logitech's got a sale. It's a 1080p webcam. Gonna plug it. It's
You're
good.
saying you weren't talking enough.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'll turn my gain back down. I was like turning it up. Like, am I not
There you
being
go.
loud enough? No, I mean, we'll see what happens today. Jackin hits on a good point. You've got Lucas Samanic in
Playing
the
well.
the question is whether or not what he can give you at the pro level. I mean, he was a former first overall pick. Same thing with Kevin Gele. So, like, who knows? Sam's just shaking his head.
Sam's Wi-Fi is struggling. I can see him.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I have no idea.
I
what's
thought you
being
just
discussed.
had like very strong opinions on Samanic for a second. I was
no.
like, whoa, is there something that I don't know here?
You did say Samanic was a first overall pick, though, so I will say.
No, I said he was a first round pick.
Oh, I thought you said first overall. I was like, wait a second.
No,
I'm pretty sure he wasn't that. Thank you, Judy, for the kind
that would have
words.
been crazy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you in the chat. Yeah, it was weird though. I mean, in the case of, I guess, both Samanic and Kamengele, both were let go like after the rookie contracts. Like, you don't really see that with teams unless the rookie just really doesn't pan out. So as great as they're playing in the G League, like, you also have to put it into context, right? Like, they are playing a level below Justin Jackson right now, and you're, trashing on Justin Jackson. Like, there's context to be had there. Justin Jackson was a 45% shooter in the G League, averaging 20 points, and now we're complaining about how he's not good at this. Like, there is a very clear connection there, right? The G League and the NBA are very different levels.
There's levels to this, yeah.
Exactly. And I'd love Samanic to come out to the NBA level and be a quality, rotational big man as much as the next guy, but expectations have to be, I feel like, leveled sort of. 10-day, like Jackin says here, I think that'd be good, like, see what he has, but at the same time, I don't think we should be placing all these high hopes into a G League guy, as Phil says.
Well, there you go.
The better Luka, obviously. Yes,
he is putting up crazy numbers though. I think we were doing a pod, Jack, and I was like, how about him? He had like 45 points when we were recording or we were live, whatever it was, and neither one of us could believe it. So he is doing some crazy stuff up in Maine. That being said, even if he does come to play for the Celtics, he's not playing a whole lot. So what's the benefit to that other than having him sit there and have nice seats for the game? Really nothing.
courtside.
I'm happy to see, again, Cornet playing well too. So if Cornet's playing well, there's really no need for that.
Elaine in the chat throwing out the Tatum for MVP agenda, which we love. But I think the more important piece about, we're talking about Cornet, Hauser, Samanic, like, the Celtics have a G League system now. And for a long time, you didn't really see the Celtics develop these younger players. Like, they're really struggling. Carson Edwards didn't pan out. Tremont Waters didn't pan out. Taco Fall didn't pan out. And I feel like they're focusing less on, let's go draft these players and put all the stock into them, and just instead kind of picking talent from around the league and at the collegiate level that they think could actually develop in that role. And I think it's helped them so far. Obviously, they stole Hauser as an undrafted free agent. He turned out well. Luka Samanic looks good, stuff like that. So Landon saying need more toxic smart bashers in here, like the Garden Report. You won't find any smart bashers in this chat. I will say we're all fans of Marcus here. So
Well, I think he's just
You-
talking in the
you
chat
do
in
that.
general.
Not Jimmy J.
You want the bait?
yes, yeah, Jimmy J's around. We have Jimmy J for the smart hatred.
Oh yeah, that's
resident
true.
which is
rat.
okay. We love him for it. The John saying the intimidation factor from the NBA to the G League is probably nuts. Yeah, I mean it's a huge leap, and you don't see a ton of players make that leap too effectively. I mean, you have your Fred VanVleets and your Chris Middletons, but there aren't many G League players who always stand out in the NBA. Landon saying he blocked some people when it got weird. Says Luis. Yeah, I don't know. It's nice to see that the Celtics are kind of embracing the G League and using it to produce these quality NBA level players, like the Heat do so well, like the Raptors do so well. It's just not something you saw in the past, and if they could do that more consistently, I feel like they'll have a better base and foundation around the Jays moving forward.
Yeah, it's definitely a good feeder, and you're
Mhm.
going to be able to get guys on cheap deals if you're able to do it right. Just look at Sam Hauser, right? When he was playing well at the beginning of the season, everybody was talking about, oh my God, they're only paying him $3 million over the next 3 seasons. Cornette's playing well. You're not paying him anything.
Mhm.
There are other teams around the league that have players in those roles that are getting paid a lot of money. Like Houston, this is kind of an outlier, but Eric Gordon makes a ton of money. For them, he's really expected to do what Sam Hauser does. In Miami, Jack, you know all about this because I tell you all the time, they hate that dude, Dwayne Dedman, as their backup center, which is pretty much what Cornette does, and he's making $4.5 million a season. Like, there are so many worse options around the league you could have. Developing guys in your own system is such a great way to save your cap, to make it so you can spend what you need to spend. Perhaps paying a Grant Williams the money he's deserved or owed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, I wrote about this in the article when I wrote about Cornette. Like title contending teams around the league depend on this sort of production for minimum guys. You look at, the Warriors last year with Gary Payton. You look at the Bucks with like Bryn Forbes and Bobby Portis, who's on a small contract when he won the title with Milwaukee. You look at the Lakers and Alex Caruso. Even this year around the league, the Nets took a chance on TJ Warren. He looks great for them. You look at who's a title contender in the West. You look at the Grizzlies. I mean, they have a ton of these younger development guys that they plucked out of the second round. Santi Aldama was the last pick in the first round, and he started a bunch of games for them this season. I'm not saying Luke Cornette's going to come out in the playoffs and do what Bobby Portis did or play as big of a role as Gary Payton, but having these minimum guys who are playing above their contract level is a necessity for a title contention team. And the Celtics didn't have that last year. And you can yell at Udoka and, shake your fists all you want that they had Cornette and Hauser and they weren't playing, but sometimes it just takes an extra year of development for guys. And now that they're getting that regular chance, they'll have that extra safety net in the playoffs and late in the season, which is something they didn't really have last year. They had the 7-man rotation, and if you went even an Aaron Nesmith past that, it was kind of a dud. So now that they have these extra guys who are getting this regular season experience and this experience playing with Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown and everything like that, it's good. And Louis saying, I just want Luke to play 7-2. I'm pretty sure like at least half of my long article is about how he uses his height to his advantage. So I urge you to go read that because I believe the comparison I made was Luke Cornette uses his height to create some of the same advantages that Robert Williams uses his athleticism to create. And it's obviously not the same thing. And they're obviously very different players. But the fact that Luke Cornette is 7'2" allows him to grab these rebounds other people can't get. It allows him to go up for these alley-oops that Smart is trying to throw to him and Robert Williams. And he's playing the role pretty well. But my point stands that you need these minimum players if you're going to contend in the NBA. Louis saying maybe I won't read it then. You don't have to, Louis. I stand by what I wrote. That's all right.
I like my opinion, and I don't want it to be changed at all because I
don't get it. I mean, what would you rather have in that role? Who would you rather have? Nobody.
Yeah, we always say
for the money.
I guess we always say if you're gonna say trade a player, you don't like a player, you have to come up with a replacement. So Louis, hit us with a replacement. Yeah, okay. Jake goes bringing it back in the chat. Luke Ben saying he made Ben Simmons stop shooting.
That was hilarious.
I don't know if that was him.
He met him at the rim though.
Forever.
All 3 of Simmons' shots in that Nets game were against Luke Cornette. So,
and he couldn't get him. He couldn't beat him. He couldn't beat Luke Cornette.
Simmons driving, clearly about to have a layup, and just throws it out of bounds because he didn't want to get fouled.
That is a broken man.
Imagine that's the guy you gave up Harden for. Not that Harden was really giving them a lot, like Kyrie said yesterday. took a jab at him in the post game, saying like it's nice not having somebody that's half in the locker room, pretty much. I mean, I guess that's kind of a loss for them, especially when you're bringing in Simmons, who's not doing a whole lot, at least on the offensive end. His assists were on point, nice passing, was on the glass, but when he's afraid to shoot the ball, he's 0 of 3, and he's supposed to be one of your top 3 players. It's not going to give you a whole lot. You're not going to be successful. You're not going to be able to survive injuries like Kevin Durant. You see Jaylen Brown out for the Celtics. They have so much better rotation players that are able to step up and do their job. We talked about it before the Nets game where Marcus Smart was kind of due to try to step up, whether he was forcing a bunch of shots or he had a good game, which he ended up having. That's what you were going to get, and he was able to do it. Like, at this point, maybe you'd rather have him than Ben Simmons as your third guy.
I think at this point, right? Because he's the one thing that he's got going for him beyond just like, obviously they're both very, very good defenders based on their reputation. Obviously Smart's reigning defensive player of the year. And he's turned into one of the better creators on the Celtics. I mean, he's consistently dishing out dimes. He looks pretty damn good in that role as well, but he's not afraid to shoot. And I thought it was crazy. Simmons was afraid not only to shoot, but to get fouled.
Yeah.
To go to the free throw line, man.
Pretty bad.
The word free is literally in the title of the thing that you're trying to get. Free is good. You want free throws. It's crazy. It's also like a great way for you to like work on your like shot. Like, you know, just get to the free throw line. Just like, okay, this is how I need to shoot the ball every time. And like, come on, even if you're 50% shooting, like from the free throw line, which is horrid, is terrible for a professional basketball player, especially one that's
Really
supposed to be a superstar. Really anybody, but like a superstar.
Free throws are the things like you and the boys can do. Like you can play knockout.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's like the very basis of basketball, like at its core. How can you not shoot or be afraid to shoot free throws? It's insane to me. Like it's embarrassment. It's an embarrassment for that organization. I would say that I feel bad for them, but I don't. I don't at all. They deserve this. They brought this on themselves. You made your bed. Now you lie in it.
Sam and I had like a whole conversation on the last podcast about who would you rather have, Ben Simmons or Grant Williams? And I mean, it sounds wild, but crazy. Like,
there are points to both
think
sides.
About cost. Think about cost. Think about who's afraid to shoot. Who's a good locker room guy.
My thing at its core, I do believe Ben Simmons is the better player. Like he's just a better defender. He's a better passer. He's a better rebounder. Obviously, the scoring isn't there as the way you'd want it to be, as Tim has pointed out. But like at its core, Ben Simmons is the better basketball player. But on like probably 20 out of 30 teams, you'd rather have Grant Williams because he's just fits better because he can shoot. And in today's NBA, that's what half the game be. Like if you're able to shoot, you have a place on an NBA roster. Grant is a max player, says Louise. Hey, maybe, but my point is like fit is so important in the league nowadays, and it's just you're hard pressed to find a team where Ben Simmons fits perfectly. Luckily for him, I think the Nets are probably one of the teams where he fits better than most other places because of all the shooting they have. I'm English and I'm 50% from the free throw line. But yeah, he's actually, I mean, outside of that one game, I think he's played pretty well this season. He's found a nice niche where he doesn't have to be the scorer because of Durant and Kyrie. But now that KD is out and they need Ben to step up a little bit, you're seeing the flaws exposed once again. So if all it takes is one injury, I mean, obviously the Durant injury is huge to expose him, then it's probably not the best. But
well, you want to talk about a solid season? Smash the odds. Solid season on the pregame show, giving out the free picks. Today's pick of the day, presented by Smash the Odds. You can follow them on Twitter at Smash Odds for daily free bets, and you can pay for the premium picks to get the premium payday. You can bet today, LaMelo under 25.5 points. My pick, Marcus Smart double-double at plus 275. I think Marcus is poised for a big game. He's been playing really well since he came back from being injured. LaMelo, that's his pick. Who knows? He might have to be a little bit tired with the early start. Not a bad day to bet unders. I feel like these matinee games are always a crapshoot.
There you go. I mean, my go-to are always there. Derek White, Grant Williams, over 1.5 threes. Those are pretty consistently the ones I'm going to go to in these situations. Across the board, though, Robert Williams over under 9.5 rebounds. I'd take the over on that. I think that's pretty good. Malcolm Brogdon points is another one that you could be interested in. Over 15.5. I know I bet the under 16 the other day, 16.5 the other day.
That was
It
a
did
sweep
hit.
for us.
It did. I'll go the over today, though. Over Malcolm Brogdon, 15.5 points. I mean, you've seen the role he's been able to take with JB out. And I do think, if he's going to take on that role again, he should crack 15. John says pick the under on JB. That's a good idea. Maybe
They're starting to get hip
him
to Rob. They're not screwing around with the Rob lines anymore.
Yeah,
they're raising it.
They must be
Jayson saying Grant is good, but he's trying too hard. I understand what you're saying a little bit. There are some times where I wish he'd just shoot the ball. Yeah, right.
He did a between the legs and then stepped back and shot an air ball.
Yeah, like Luis is saying, sometimes he just needs to shoot it, but at the same time, when he has been pump faking, he's making good plays, right? For the most part, outside of that one Sam's referencing where he tried to do the step back and airball, but he's been really good this season. And as much as I do want him to stop pump faking, he is able to create advantages for the Celtics when he does that this season. So I'm not going to complain too much. I think he's been good. There is that. Celtics and Tom Brady today, says Luis.
Oh boy.
Landon's saying Abby over Brady. Yes, we know, Sam. We know. I knew that was coming as soon as anything about football came up.
Don't care. He doesn't even play here anymore. Don't care.
I feel like Grant didn't play hard enough on defense last game. I feel like nobody played hard enough on defense in the first half. They brought it back, but it was definitely a rough first half for the Celtics.
Remarkable, 60-something% they allowed Charlotte to shoot for a good amount of that first half.
It was brutal. It was very tough, but they brought it back. Credit to Rob for the energy.
Unbelievable turnaround.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't get to watch in full detail like normal, but just seeing them down 16, the sheer frustration I felt, and then seeing them cut it to 4 before the half. Spectacular.
That did feel good. It was good to see them do that. But I was like, you guys should not have fallen behind by that.
That is a big time team move. That's a good team move. That's hey, look at us. We can screw around and then still blow you out.
Yeah. And that's honestly what ended up happening, which was crazy. But let's make it a little bit more comfortable, get some guys some rest. I was talking who knows, maybe by the fourth quarter, they can pull the starters.
Speaking of rest, they're going to get rolled on Thursday. They have 2 days of rest before that Warriors game. In this season, when they have time to sit around, they are not very good.
I wonder if Jaylen
not very good when they have time off. When they have no time off and they got to play tired, they're excellent.
It's very weird. They also, at the same time, though, they also tend to do better against better teams this year. Yeah. So maybe
what are the Warriors, though? We don't even know. They're below 500.
True. We don't know how good the Warriors
all of
are.
them. They're supposed to be good. They're not. So the team does. How hard are the Celtics supposed to try? They're bad on the road. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if they treat that one like the Hornets. They're just leaving Curry open. They're like, yeah, he can't play.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm just looking at their away record. Their away record is awful.
They just lost to somebody else yesterday.
4-17. They're 4-17. One of the worst away records.
Team that wasn't even good.
Chicago.
This sounds about right.
Yeah, Vucevic killed them.
Yep.
How about the Nets yesterday? They lost to the Thunder.
Hey, you can't talk.
Celtics,
you can't say anything about that.
4 games up on second place.
I was going to say,
the 76ers lose to the Thunder?
They did.
Thunder have been kind of beating everybody up.
My dad hates the predictions in the chat. Be careful what you say. Trap.
I mean,
last time somebody predicted something like this, the Celtics got rolled.
It was the Thunder.
It was the Thunder game.
Somebody predicted something in the chat about a Thunder win, and as the game was going on, my dad texted me. The person who said that should be banned from the chat.
Oh yeah,
I forget who it was, or else I would. But yeah, Chicago with no DeRozan. John says Pritchard getting some love on the boards from Phil. Some love here as well. But yeah,
you guys see the Lakers? The end of that game?
No, maybe
heartbreaking.
Some love for the vitamin C.
I watched it live. I almost cried.
Oh, Westbrook! Yes, I watched Westbrook fumble the bag in the last.
Oh no!
They don't take a timeout. He does a bunch of dribbles it off his foot, recovers, drives on Embiid, goes to pass it. He passes it into the outstretched arms of both Embiid and Niang, and if he didn't hit them, he would have threw it off the side of the rim. and then the
It was
Lakers
bad.
lose.
Yeah, it should have called. It was very funny.
God.
It was very funny. I
Oh,
mean,
man.
I was kind of torn in that one. Like, you never want to see the Lakers win, but like at the same time, it would have helped the Celtics in the standings if the Lakers won. So I
Oh, I
wasn't
mean,
going to
there's
complain.
so many teams ahead of the Sixers. It doesn't matter.
I
I'm
guess.
praying on the downfall out there in LA. F those guys, all of them. LeBron, Westbrook, that rat Anthony Davis and his stupid dad, all of them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. The Lakers now falling deeper into 13th place. The Thunder, by the way, who were out here talking about, they're only half a game out of 8th place in the West.
I would
right
like
now.
to see them get it.
They've been rolling 1-3 in a row, 6-4 in their last 10 games. I mean, they look pretty good. I'm pretty sure I saw something on Twitter where they're like the over the last 10 games, they're like the 6th ranked offense, 4th ranked defense in the league. So they're playing really well. But Vitamin C's is the name of the podcast.
Yeah, it's gonna be. It'll
referencing.
be. You'll probably find it on Adam Taylor NBA for YouTube. You'll
Mhm.
find it on there, and then it's also over at CLNS Media.
There you go. There you
Yeah,
go.
Ben.
Sam's on fire.
I'll tell
We're
you
gonna
what,
be
you want
recording
more of the
today, too.
fire. Jack and I later today, we're doing our Monday live
We're both
stream.
recording today.
'Cause there's
Oh
no
yes,
game.
we
There's
are
no
live.
no late
though.
game.
We won't live stream.
So we'll be
so.
on.
Tim's not live. Tim and Adam are recording, so they'll podcast will be
dropping
out
later.
tomorrow or dropping.
Well,
later
we'll
tonight?
drop it tonight. Yeah, we're trying to
Dropping
get
tonight.
the schedule hammered out. We had one, scrapping it. Had one, scrapping it. So we're just trying to
Gotcha.
get into that rhythm. That's all.
Gotcha. Well, for those of you looking for content later, Vitamin C is out later today, and Sam and I, how about them Celtics
We'll be
YouTube
live.
channel? We will be live. So you
Chat
can
about
come
the game with us. I've got
talk about
stories
that
to
as
tell.
well.
I'm ready. I didn't want to waste them on the pregame. We've got the stream tonight. We have a pod we're going to record tomorrow, according to the plan. Like, plenty of time for me to tell the stories. Only have a half hour on this show. Could have
Do
saved.
we want to do one trivia
Oh yeah, do a
yeah,
trivia.
we can
Good
do a
call.
trivia.
Tim.
real quick?
Let me break it out. I've got it right here. Let me pull up the standings just so I can be ready.
The standing. Oh. I
The
was like,
scores.
why do you need the standings? Yeah, I forgot.
We did do a trivia yesterday when you were.
Well, good. You
absent,
guys
but
need to catch up a little bit.
I was gonna say you don't need any extra help, and I'm pretty sure I got none right, so it's fine. All right, 1 point. My dad saying he has 0 points. Yes, stream tonight, Landon. We'll be here
Yes.
on How About Them Celtics.
What
YouTube.
time, Jack? 7?
Yeah, whatever. Around.
We'll
then.
lock
We can
it in.
say
7. Be there at 7.
7 p.m. One trivia card today. We'll break it out. All right, here you go. For 5 points, drafted by the Celtics in 2007, but didn't play for them until 2011.
I know who it is.
Oh, what the hell!
You should know
This
this
sucks.
one too. Tim knows too.
Right off the bat, that's
I
an
should
easy
know
one.
this one too.
Yeah, you
Yes.
should know this, Jack.
Oh, well, now I feel like an idiot.
All right, we'll go to the second one. You probably will get it after that.
Named to the NBA All-Rookie First Team in 2008 as a member of the Seattle Supersonics.
Oh, wow,
Oh, is it my guy? Is it Jeff Green?
Yeah, it's
Is
Jeff
that
Green.
correct? Okay.
Jeff.
There
that
you
was
go.
like
Well,
your first favorite player.
It was. I got
Yeah.
thrown off because when it said drafted in 2007, didn't play till 2011, my mind instantly went to, okay, so it's probably like a draft and stash guy. So I wasn't
that's
even
fair.
thinking about
Yeah.
like current players.
I don't even know how many picks that they
American-born
had in
players, I
that
should
draft,
say.
but he was 8th
They were
overall.
supposed to
He
get
was part of the
KD,
trade.
and they got screwed in the lottery, and then they
Yeah,
ended up with
dropped
Jeff
all the
Green,
way
and
to
they said,
8th.
Okay,
I
we'll
think
take Ray
was-
Allen.
Was it 8th or 5th? Might have been 8th.
Oof, I don't know. But Jeff Green. All right. Unfortunate for me. I should have gotten that, but I wasn't thinking right. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. Anything else you guys want to say before we get on out of here?
7 p.m. Be there. Jack and I will be.
Come say hi at 7 p.m. We'll be here. How about them Celtics? Like Landon is saying, Vitamin C's is later. Adam Taylor on YouTube, right? It's under his channel.
Yes.
Alrighty, there you go. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're on Heavy Facebook, make sure to leave us a like. Subscribe to the How About Them Celtics YouTube channel. That's where we always are. Go Celtics, as my dad said in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. We are here 30 minutes before every Celtics game, so we will see you guys before the next one. Peace out, and see you at the stream later.